discriminating intelligence of logic and reason, and the unifying, integrating intelligence of intuition and recognition, instinct and inspiration. Through the balanced coordination and simultaneous wielding of both types of intelligence, a new, formerly invisible world opens to us. The ancient technology of hieroglyphic symbolism becomes a kind of evolutionary stepladder, optimizing and empowering the mind of the user.
Every gesture, every costume, every headdress, every implement used in these reliefs will have a specific meaning that will communicate holistically, instantaneously to the beholder, or to the initiated beholder at any rate. So the symbol is actually a very brilliant and sophisticated means for transmitting very complex meanings universally, but the understanding of that meaning will depend upon the level of expertise or initiation of the beholder.
Symbolism allows the mind to intuitively see what is not directly visible in the material world around us. The symbol at once contains not only a specific object or concept, but also a bundle of invisible qualities and tendencies that it embodies.
The Egyptians commonly used birds, animals, plants for their own symbolic reasons. And when you look into them, you find that the bird, animal, plant, or whatever is taken from real life, but it is the embodiment itself of certain principles. For example, a bird flies. This is what we associate with birds. So we'll symbolize the volatile. The principle of volatility is associated with spirit, in other words, the ethereal. So the bird carries that complex of meanings. It's a big mistake to think that this is a carryover from earlier animistic or totemistic or still more superstitious beliefs. Rather, it is a very complex and sophisticated and scientific way of allowing the beholder access into the actual meaning, the abstract meaning of the principles that are anchored by the material symbol: bird, lioness, dog, monkey, etc., etc., etc.
As one becomes versed in reading symbolism, one learns the art of looking past the visible symbol to the underlying rules, the archetypes, the forces and occult connections that it represents. Because each symbol expresses an essential component of sacred science, profound esoteric wisdom could be encoded and read from the symbolism held in hieroglyphs and reliefs, as well as in the geometry, volume, proportion, and number symbolism incorporated into the temples. This symbolism acted not only as a repository of meaning, but was itself a component of magical technology. The symbol of the winged disc held a place of prominence over every door in the ancient temples. The sheer ubiquity of the sign speaks to it being deeply important to the Egyptians. What did it mean? The incarnating or excarnating spirit is symbolized as a winged sun, an ancient emblem for the indestructible human soul, both in birth and in death. The symbol of the winged disc served as a constant reminder that just as the initiate entered each room to perform a task and leave again, that so was the spirit only temporarily housed in the flesh. The more constant the attention to self-perfection, the greater the abilities in the next life, the next world. This was the great work, the art of constructing and constantly working to perfect the tower within. Like a shoehorn for the wandering mind, it continuously returned one's thoughts to the work of preparing for the afterlife. In the symbolism of the snake, we get another glimpse into the sophistication and high wisdom of the ancients.
energy, which is what modern physicists recognize as the, let's say, the substructure or the primordial stuff of the universe, is really another name for despiritualized consciousness. Energy manifests itself through vibration, through polarity, through the sine wave. The ancients in all civilizations were thoroughly cognizant of that and portrayed energy as, or vibration, often as a snake, which, moving along the ground or through water, in fact produces a sine wave. So the snake is the perfect symbol, and it is pretty much a universal symbol for unity becoming duality, and it is unity that becoming duality that is the cosmological basis of all valid philosophical systems. Vibration, of course, is the means whereby the arts are transmitted to us, to our emotional faculties. This is obvious in music, of course. This is where we're most familiar with it. Vibration in the form of sound waves, and orchestrated through volume and intensity and tonality and key and so on. Music produces an emotional effect depending upon the piece of music. The great poet Goethe called architecture frozen music. This is not just poetically and metaphorically true, it is actually true. A great temple, or for that matter a shopping mall, communicates its meaning or lack of meaning, as the case may be, entirely through vibration. We tend not to think of it that way because it's visual vibration. Obviously, color transmits itself to us as visual vibration. This we're accustomed to and we recognize, but we don't think of architectural form, which is static, as vibration, but it is indeed vibration, and it communicates exactly, or anyway, analogically exactly, as does music, through harmony, proportion, measure, and geometry, which is the interplay of number.
When seen through the symbolist decoder, this voice from the past suddenly begins telling the same story as the latest findings of modern science. Our own forefront of understanding in many cases lies parallel to the oldest mysteries. In some cases, the old wisdom continues beyond where we ourselves have reached. What else did they know that we have yet to learn? To truly enter the temple, a change in mindset must occur. This is sometimes referred to as the process of initiation into the mysteries, the development of the intelligence of the heart. The initiate must learn to focus on the inside rather than the outside, and look beyond the visible to the invisible, to what lies beneath and the world within. It's precisely the things we don't see, we can't see, that were the secrets of the mystery schools. A sometimes difficult concept to grasp, it can require an adjustment in thinking and perception, as it focuses not on the physical material world, but on its underlying causes. The great mysteries concern the invisible laws, forces, archetypes, and secret connections that are the building blocks, the invisible templates of our reality, and perhaps the roadmap to operating in higher realms as well. One of the most famous of the students of the mystery schools is the legendary Pythagoras. Pythagoras waited and prepared for 20 years before his initiation into this science of the invisible. He went on to start a revolution in thinking when he revealed to the profane world another secret of the Egyptian mysteries. In the simple